Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist to the Abyss, and you're watching my first impressions video for the anime Orange. Okay, and I actually really enjoy this anime. I really do. Orange is the story of this girl Naho, and she the way the story is structured, part of it takes place in the present and part of it takes place in the future. Though I guess you could really argue that the future is the present and the present is the past, but for the sake of simplicity, we'll just call it the present and the future. Um, it goes back and forth between the two, but most of the time we spend is in the present, and it's about this girl Naho, and the actions and lack thereof in her high school years led to a future that she regrets. She doesn't like the way life turned out for her and her friends. It's not necessarily like she joined a gang or something, but like she has a lot of regrets for the way things turned out between them. So she sends a letter to her past self, like literally her past self in the present gets this letter from herself in the future, and she's reading it like, is this stuff really possible? And it's just her realizing, like, the stuff in these letters is actually happening. We really did get a transfer student here. He really did tell us that he couldn't hang out on this day. And it's just her trying to decide whether or not she should change the future the way her future self wants to, because apparently these regrets are going to be something that she cannot or does not want to handle. And she has to decide whether or not she can actually overcome her natural personality, because her natural personality, she wants to act in a certain way, and her future self is saying, you can't act in this way because that's what I did and it didn't turn out well. So it's just an interesting story about a girl trying to change the future, so that these bad things don't happen. But it's not a shonen series, that's the thing, it's a shoujo. So it focuses more, it's not like a Steins Gate type of series, it focuses more on the feels, and so that makes it kind of unique in that way. And because of the fact that it's shoujo, it may not be for everybody, I will admit that. If you aren't the type of person to like the shoujo types of dialogue, where it's not like your typical shoujo romance, though. Like, they'll think that it's just going to be, oh, uh, the the most popular boy and most attractive boy in the entire school falls in love with little old me, who isn't that popular and doesn't think she's that attractive, and he tries to date me, but I say no and I keep pushing him away, but he keeps fighting for me, and then he ends up winning me over. Like, it's not like that. It's not your stereotypical shoujo in that regard. It's actually, that's because that's usually what keeps me away from most shoujo, but this is actually a very, very well done. It's it's able to humanize the feelings that are actually going through the characters, because sometimes in anime you get desensitized to things. But in the example I always use is character deaths. And it's not even just anime. Shows like Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, Attack on Titan. There are a lot of shows where Hunter x Hunter. There are shows where people die quite often, and death in anime, it's just not as big as it would be in a real life situation. But this anime is able to humanize in a way where you can put yourself in these characters' shoes, and when the smallest thing happens, you feel it like it was happening to you, and you get genuine emotion out of it. It's actually really well done. I honestly really enjoy it. Um, it's probably one of my favorite new anime that started this season. Um, it's really well done. It really is. I would definitely recommend it if you're the type of person who can sit through a good shoujo. If you just hate everything that that shoujo is, then you probably won't like it. But if you've ever had a shoujo that you can at least sit through, then you'll probably like this, because this is actually really well written, and it's just really well done. But you become invested to the two main characters, not necessarily the friends, because the friends aren't really that important, they're just there. Um, because what high schooler doesn't have at least one? Like most high schoolers have friends, right? So they're just there to fill the quota, really. So it's not so much them you care about. It's Naho, and it's the two main characters that you're really interested in. Um, but I have enjoyed it. I really have. Episode 3 came out. I enjoyed that. It doesn't go to the future too much to the point where it's taking away from the story. I think it balanced the whole going back and forth between present and future thing really well. So I would definitely recommend this series to people out there, as long as you are okay watching a shoujo series, even if you're not. If I would say to give it a try, unless you know specifically that you just hate everything that shoujo is. Like if you tend to not like shoujo, you can still like this, because I tend to not like shoujo either, and I like this. So give it a shot, and the chances are you will like it, because I know I do. All right, but that is that, you guys. Those are my first impressions of the anime Orange. Rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at BlacklistOTA, and I will see you guys next time.